Hello viewers, this is Raj from Johar's EL Academy, and today we are going to discuss two important consonant sounds in English. And in these two sounds are S as in sun and Sh as in shine. So S and Sh. So many students have issues with these sounds, and especially with this sound. So many students, especially for so many students living in western, southwestern part of India, and also some parts in northwest parts of India, some in Nepal. So some students, I don't say all, but some students have issues with these sounds. So instead of pronouncing this sound, they pronounce this as this sound. Right? So we'll discuss how you can improve on this sound, the pronunciation of this sound. Right, so first of all, to improve our pronunciation, we need to understand the mechanism. Mechanism means how these sounds are produced, how the air from the lungs comes out, alright, the manner in which air passes through articulators, which articulators are involved, and so these are a few things, alright. So for yes, one is S as in sun, and other one is Sh as in shine. So we'll discuss what are the position of articulators in these two sounds. So if you look at this one, so for what happens in the sound alveolar, first of all, here are your vocal cords. They are lip-like structure, lips, yes, lip-like structure here and here. So both of these sounds are voiceless sounds. Voiceless sounds mean when the air from your lungs comes out to pass through your speech organs, which are mostly this part. So there are two types of position of vocal cords. Sometimes they are held widely apart or they are loosely held together. If they are loosely held together, for example, in all vowel sounds, then there is a vibration in this part. And so, but these two are voiceless sounds, mean the vocal cords are wide apart. So there is no vibration of vocal cords here. All right. So no difference until this point. Now, and what happens? This soft palate, it is raised against the back wall, so it closes the nasal passage, meaning the air cannot pass through the nose. Then what happens? It passes through you here. So what are the position of these articulators? You see, the tip of the tongue goes very close to this part. This part means teeth ridge, or we call it alveolus. So there is a very narrow gap between the two, and when the air passes through it, there is friction. There is friction. So that's why these are called fricative sounds. So yes, so what happens when the air passes through it? No air passes through the nose. All right. So it passes through only this oral passage. So for this tip of the tongue goes very close, tip and blade, very close to your teeth ridge or alveolus. So when the air passes through it, there is friction, audible friction, and that's why this sound is called fricative. It's a fricative sound. And yes, the lips, position of lips, it remains either neutral or it depends on the vowel that comes after this sound. For example, here, O sound. So whatever the position of vocal cord, the lips is in O sound, so the same position remains here. Whereas if we consider this sound, the same thing, soft palate is raised, so the nasal passage is shut off. Alright, so no air can escape through the nasal passage. Now, the air passes through this narrow gap between the tip of the tongue, the blade of the tongue, and the front of the tongue. This part and the roof of mouth, which is here, alveolus and palate. So mostly with alveolus, this part of the tongue, which we call front of the tongue, is raised against the hard palate. So it's called palato-alveolar sound. So the organs here are your alveolus or teeth ridge and hard palate. And here is tip, front, tip, blade in front of the tongue. So this part goes very close. There is very narrow gap between the two. So when the air passes through this, there is audible friction. There is audible friction. That's why this is also a fricative sound. So this is fricative, this is fricative. But yes, position of the articulator is different. So if you want to pronounce, most students have issues with this sound. They are okay with this sound. So how we can improve it? If we position our articulators properly, yes, it's very easy. I'll tell you to watch the video until the end and we will just overcome it. So what happens? When this air passes through it, yes, so here is audible friction, and here you see just the tip or just the blade of the tongue, it goes against the teeth ridge, and here quite a larger section of the tongue goes up, and here just a smaller section. This part of the tongue also is raised, but here it remains quite low. Alright, so if you make this position, and other one is the lips. Lips are rounded. Stretch forward and rounded. Alright, so that's the sound. That's the mechanism of these two sounds. Let's discuss. So yes, let's discuss. So as in son, it's voiceless. This is voiceless, so no difference. This is fricative, this is fricative. So especially the manner and the position of vocal cords are almost the same. The real difference is the articulators. So here it's an alveolar sound and it's a palato-alveolar sound. You look at the position of articulators, lips are slightly spread, but still the lip position depends upon the vowel, which vowel that follows this consonant. And here lips are stretched forward and they're rounded. So that's the difference. Alright, lips are stretched forward and rounded. Yes, so we come again to this sound. These two sounds, you see the difference? Just this part of the tongue here, and here quite a large portion of the tongue goes very close to the roof of the mouth, teeth ridge, or you can say alveolus and hard palate. So if you want to pronounce it, take your tongue up a larger section. Shh, shh, shh. Right, we'll do it in the So yes, there are certain sounds. So when you pronounce this sound, so it's alright, as in sit, salt, seed, sick, sing, sun. Here, this is the problematic sound. Shh. So first, don't try to pronounce the word, just pronounce the sound. Shh. Stretch your lips out, round them, and sh, sh. And now say shape, sh, shirt, sh, shoe, sh, chef, sh, shadow. All right. So once again, when you pronounce these sounds, just for practice, you can use these words. So here some sounds are initial position, some are mid position, and here are final position consonants. So all three positions in a word I have written. So when you pronounce these sounds, remember, when you practice, if you have issues, so don't pronounce the word, just pronounce the sound. Sh, sh, sh. And then shape, sh, shirt, sh, shoe, sh, chef. All right, some say that it's the A comes from here, diaphragm and stuff. No, that's just all. So only difference here is this part, this part. So the difference is this part. That's it. So there is no other difference except in this part. All right. So you can practice using these words. And yes, if you have any issues, let me know. My classes are all 7 days a week, morning, afternoon, evening. And if you have any issues in pronunciation of whatever, I'll be happy to help you out. Wish you all the luck. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.